After battling through some races at BB Speedway, I was able to get to and pass the 322 race mark, so that means I've quote unquote beat sport mode. And now, I figured, because honestly, sport mode has been pretty caught picking stupid with how people's manipulated it by cutting the track or doing the grip glitch or doing the tire glitch or whatever. I figured I would manipulate the game legally without cheating at all, just by playing the game and the parameters they give me. So in this test, I'm going to race clean as long as everyone else does with me, which is like usual. But instead of however race eye for eye, well, I'm going to be doing that. But I'm just going to say that if somebody wrecks me, I'm going to do everything in my power to wreck them. No holds barred. I don't care about any other drivers. Once somebody wrecks me, I would literally do everything to wreck them. And after getting through the prologue of this test, that got my sportsmanship rating to a point of where it's good, but it can still be slightly better, but it could be a lot worse. So let's just see what happens. I really don't know for sure. At this point, first pass me clean. As I said, I'll race clean till someone races me dirty. As of now, it's fine, though, so no big deal, really. Everybody's racing clean. Let's hope that continues. If this continues throughout the whole race, I'll try to get the lead back, but I ain't gonna wreck anybody. So, yeah, as of now, it's kind of driving it like a normal race. I'd actually prefer it to stay that way. Because the prologue races got me up to 97 sportsmanship rating. I'd like to be able to keep that. But, well, now I'm about to rage and wreck the holy Snikes out of second place and do literally everything in my power to do so. If fourth wants to wreck me in the next race, or whatever race that driver sees me in a race again, go ahead. If you're watching this video, you have all the right to wreck me if you want, but, well, this is a test, so that's why I did that. In a normal race, if a driver wrecks me, I'm still going to do everything I can to wreck the other driver, because eye for an eye, but I'm not going to affect anyone else doing so, because they didn't necessarily do anything, so I'm not going to hurt them. But this is the point of the test. My sportsmanship rating went down 18 points at BB Speedway, only trying to wreck someone who wrecked me, not getting in the way of other drivers, not purposely slowing them down to speed me up. 18 points. This time I'm doing, if anything, even more aggressive. So in theory, I'm going to lose like 30 sportsmanship rating points. But we'll just have to see, folks. That's the point of the test. And well, I'm getting close to second now, which means second's getting close to wrecked now. It's honestly second blatantly took me out. If this was a normal race, I'd still be trying to wreck second. I just wouldn't have swerved directly in front of fourth there to do it, because I think either way I would have still caught up to second, but this is the point of the test, so here we go. And honestly, I'd still prefer to win the race too. If I can wreck second completely, I'll do so, but I still may as well try to win. The main point would be wrecking second, which honestly I pretty much missed, so now I'll come back and try to do more damage. Main goal: make sure that driver doesn't finish anywhere close to the top 3 or so, because that's what that driver tried to do to me. Again, sorry to that driver. If you want to wreck me, whatever. I actually didn't swerve in front that time. I didn't anticipate it the best. But I was kind of borderline blocking. I knew if I were to swerve in front at that point, I probably just wouldn't have made that last turn I was in, so I figured I may as well not. Because now I can use the new third place driver for draft, so it's better to, all in all, for the grand scheme of things, not wrecking the third place driver at this point, who's actually now second. Well, Jiminy Cricket. The driver who was planning on wrecking the whole time backed out of the race, even though after I kind of sort of wrecked him. Well, that's weird. Now I literally don't really know how to go with this plan. I guess like usual, if somebody's dirty with me, I'll wreck them, but That kind of throws a curveball into it. And honestly, that's why we're getting this video a little bit later. Because I forgot to mention that I did a prologue to this test. Because actually, as I recorded this the first time and uploaded this, of the first time recording it, when I recorded it, I didn't actually have the idea for the prologue first. So, sorry y'all are getting this a little bit later in the day. But I just figured I may as well fix it now that I noticed a mistake once I uploaded it. Because it seemed worth mentioning the prologue now that it actually did happen. Because at the time of I recorded this, I didn't know that was going to happen. But, anyway, as I said, I'm still battling for the lead. If somebody gets my way, they probably are going to be wrecked. But I really don't actually know how to race at this point because I wasn't really expecting this circumstance to happen. Again, sorry to that one car that I kind of just ran out of space or whatever, so went into the wall at one time. If you're watching this video and you want to wreck me in a future video, whatever, but this is the test. So anyway, I'd still like to win the race. That's looking virtually impossible at this point, but I'd still like to, so I'm going to do all I can to, because, well, that's the point. And to be honest, second's kind of blocking both third and me at this point anyway. Second might honestly deserve to be wrecked. And maybe, just maybe, if I can wreck that second place driver, that driver by me, who I've sort of kind of slowed down a bit, may end up finishing a position higher anyway if I wreck second hard enough. So it may just be win-win-win all around. Because I made that one driver quit because I think that driver knew I was coming for him, and doubly so, given that I did it once and then backed off to do it again. So maybe I just intimidated that one driver out of the race. So that moves everyone up one position, and then maybe, just maybe, I can move the person blocking out of the way, and then that moves everybody up two positions. Except for me, because I got screwed over by that one driver that left. But again, if I can still win, I'll do so. I just kind of highly doubt I can at this point, because second's blocking. Which means, because, well, that's the point of the video, second's being dirty, so I'll be dirty back. And again, I may as well do like I did with the first driver, back off if I don't actually completely wreck second. Because at this point, that driver honestly deserves to be in front of that driver, because that driver would be in front of that driver if that driver wasn't blocking that driver. So therefore, in order for me to get by, I probably want to go ahead and get that driver by too, just because that's probably the most fair thing to do. So in order to do that, well, I'm going to have to carry out my plan. I'm going to have to wreck that driver. So winning is almost completely out of the question, but, well, wrecking that driver may still be in the question, or it may be questionable. I don't know. I don't exactly know how I'm going to do it as of now. These cars aren't really fast enough to do anything when I'm right behind like this. And honestly, that beating and banging was kind of sort of started by the fourth place driver. So now I'm not even too keen on that driver. Granted, that fourth place driver probably saw me driving iffy and just kind of was, in a way, doing the same thing I am. But, well, I'm a better dirty racer, honestly, than a lot of people. And a lot of people don't know that right offhand. Second doesn't seem to be a bad dirty racer, though. Again, if you want to wreck me in the next race, go ahead, fourth place driver, or any race you see me from now on, whatever. But, yeah, I'm gonna attempt to wreck that driver, so you end up getting a net no loss there, even though I did block. Honestly, that driver might be in third if I didn't block, but realistically, if I can wreck that driver hard enough, that driver will be in third, and I'll be in second. So, whatever. I have 2 turns left to do it, so let's see if I can. I got the momentum. That driver's in the wall, it's looking like, and still is caught in picking blocking. Maybe that gave that driver a penalty, but I kinda doubt it. And because this is the end of the race, and this is more of a test anyway, that will be continued later on, let's go ahead and look at the results. I don't actually have pictures of the results, because this is a race-by-race thing, and it changes race-by-race, but this particular race, well, my driver rating went down because, well, I went from first to third. I guess that's reasonable. And my sportsmanship rating went down. That's the most reasonable. Yeah, that makes sense. But second place got no penalty whatsoever for blocking. And my sportsmanship rating only went down by 3 points. 3 points. I mean, y'all can take that as you may. Was that whole race only worth a 3-point deduction? I mean, I'm an eye for an eye driver in all ways, and especially in this circumstance, and I kind of think it might have deserved more. I got 18 points at BB Speedway for honestly driving cleaner. This was only a 3-point deduction. And I lost a race to an idiot who blocked, who also lost sportsmanship rating too, but gained a position, so I'm not having that. I'll be back in the next test, testing how the driver rating and sportsmanship works. A different and hopefully more successful way. I'll be back, folks. I'll be back. I ain't going out like this.